Hello, we are Group 7, and join us on a parade of pedagogies as we reflect on how we iteratively refined our teaching and learning.
Hi, hello, I'm Gimbo. I'm going to present my paper, the framework. It is being put into the action research framework. So as we know, the action research has some steps. So the first step begins with observation, and then that is followed by reflection. After reflection, then we have to do the intervention, which is called action planning, and then we evaluate the result of the intervention, and if the intervention has worked, then it's okay, carry on. If not, we have to modify and then seek the new directions. So within this framework, my paper is about seeking to align teaching, learning and assessment components, and for that I used these materials, what is called the module descriptors, then term plan, then Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives. So with these materials, what I have done is I used this to develop a common anchor which consists of the levels of Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives mapped to the teaching and learning cycles. So what usually happens is that every topic that is there can be put into Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives grid. So I use this DPD, term plan, and Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives in combination with the class lessons to arrive at a way to align these teaching, learning, and assessment components. So the Bloom's taxonomy of educational objectives is helpful in enabling me to identify the levels of the learning outcomes. And once the levels of the learning outcomes are mapped to the 6 hierarchical levels of Bloom's cognitive process dimensions, then it is easier to map the appropriate teaching, learning, and teaching strategies and skills to the learning outcomes. And once that is done, then the job is as simple as using that to plan the class lessons, and then in that way that class lessons can be delivered in an effective and fruitful manner, and that will also enable the use of appropriate assessment techniques. Thank you.
At the University of Agder, pre-service teachers embarked on a new journey into the world of computer programming, weaving it into the fabric of mathematics and science education. Their teacher competence was put to the test as they navigated the integration of programming tools into their teaching paradigms. These future educators grappled with the shifting teacher identity. Their positions changed as they explored how programming tasks could be integrated into their maths and science lessons. As the PSTs embarked on a 4-week scaffolded experiential learning cycle, we delved into their stories regarding programming, exploring their growing familiarity with this digital language. The PSTs reshaped their perspectives on programming and exploratory learning, repositioning themselves from programming skeptical to programming curious, or in some cases, programming excited and curious to even more open to various approaches to using programming as part of mathematics and science teaching.
Well, my name is Tony, and actually I will consider my study is a kind of action research. Therefore, we can follow the action research cycle. The first 4, since the focus of my research is on vocabulary teaching. And therefore, as the first step, we have to observe how learners actually acquired English vocabulary. And after observation, then we go to reflect. As a teacher, we have to think of how we can teach vocabulary effectively. And based on our reflections, then we can actually have our actions. There is in my study, actually we try to create an interactive AI avatar. In order to make the AI avatar interactive and help learners learn English vocabulary effectively, then we have to actually develop the knowledge base for that avatar. And in order to make the teaching and learning interactive and effective, we have to evaluate the knowledge base of the avatar. And after that, then we can always improve the knowledge base by modifying the knowledge base and also try to create new prompts to the avatar so that the avatars can actually answer the questions about the target vocabulary items effectively. And finally, maybe based on other studies, maybe we can think of how we can apply mathematical modeling in going to a new directions of how to create new kinds of avatar for vocabulary teaching and learning.
So our paper is about a 7-week unit that introduced pre-service teachers to mathematical modeling using portfolio assessment. And this unit has been running for 3 years now. In the first iteration, we were not very happy with the outcomes. So for year 2, we decided to revise the unit, which led to better outcomes. And for year 3, we did even more refinement of the design of the unit and were even more satisfied with how it turned out. One of the key ideas this year was that lecturers and pre-service teachers co-developed the assessment criteria for the portfolio, and our paper reports on the lecturers and the pre-service teachers' experiences with this co-development process. The PSTs and lecturers mainly report positive experiences, although one must be careful when co-developing assessment criteria with students. And in the future, we will continue developing and refining this mathematical modeling unit.
At Weber State University, the journey of pre-service teachers unfolded in the age of generative AI. Teacher educators were tasked with the critical mission of bridging the gap between traditional teaching methods and cutting-edge AI technology. Using expectancy value theory as a guiding light, these reflective educators ventured into a revamped AI unit, crafted to emphasize student-centered learning. The mixed methods approach revealed a modest change in student perceptions, an enhanced perceived competency and interest in AI. As insights bloomed from comparative analyses, the educators celebrated their successes in fostering educational efficacy, equipping pre-service teachers with the tools to harness AI's power for themselves and their future students.
We advocate for the proactive integration of generative AI into the training of pre-service teachers. We recognize the educational necessity of equipping future educators with knowledge and skills related to AI technology, emphasizing its potential as a tool to support teachers' work. We take a constructive approach by revising their AI instructional unit to foster more active, student-centered learning experiences. Through analysis and adjustments, we demonstrate a commitment to increasing pre-service teachers' perceived value and interest in AI. Overall, our position underscores the importance of adequately preparing pre-service teachers to leverage AI as a beneficial and transformative asset in their teaching practices.